Well, now moving on, speaking of the snow, thousands of children are off school this week with further severe weather alerts on the way, and one enterprising teacher has decided to get around the snow days by teaching online. Oh good God, Sinead, if I had a teacher who did that, I'd be raging. I know parents around the country are probably delighted.
I absolutely agree with you, but as a parent I think it's an immensely good idea. Actually, my school is very good now. They have opened this week, so my kids have been begrudgingly getting up. They've opened up an hour later in the morning, so you know, it's been kind of doable. Get people down there, as many as can, I suppose. You know, yeah, no, why not? I think it's very entertaining. Actually, you know, I think even some of the kids are getting a bit sick and tired of it. I mean, the snow is all very well when it's white and fluffy and there's a sun shining and they can go out and make a snowman. I think now, like 7 or 8 or 9 days into it, and it's slushy and wet and horrible. It's, you know, I think they are bored.
There are cartoons to be watched.
They won't admit to being bored, but I actually think they like the structure.
The principal in question is Katrina Carty from Glenmore National School in Mayo. If anyone wants to send her children to that
we get
school.
all our kids to log on to her website.
Yeah, but in fairness, it was a very good idea. She sent text messages to parents about the plans, and I suppose all the students were contacting each other within Google Talk. And whatever, it is fun playing in the snow, but an awful lot of tuition hours get lost in times like this. And I suppose, Fiona, by the time the children get back to school, their head is completely in the wrong place. It's like summer holiday mode.
Yeah, and my kids genuinely were very bored by the end of last week. They were very glad to get back to school. And like that, the secondary school did send directed us to websites where the kids could study, where they could get study links, because they were meant to be doing their Christmas exams, and they didn't know whether to study for them, whether they were going to be cancelled. And in the primary school, the school musical was cancelled, major heartbreak. The Coming a Month school final was cancelled. All these events the kids had looked forward to. So it was actually very disruptive. Now, I have to say, they were glad to get back to it.
Especially for those in exam years. I mean, I had a child doing junior cert last year. Now, this year it's not so bad, obviously, for me. But last year now, that would have been wholly disruptive. And it was for the few days. It was closed with the snow. I mean, it's actually quite serious not to have facilities open.
Although I'm going completely light in the dawn here again, Emily, this is something that I would appreciate. When one guy emailed back, one little child emailed back and said when they started doing revision, although he wrote back saying he hoped there would be no homework in the evenings because he had to build an igloo.
Very important, very important. I actually built my own snowman last week as well. I was very proud of it. Myself and my friends built it. So it's exactly, I mean, that's it. You know, enjoy the snow. Obviously, after a certain amount of time, it gets a little bit too much and you're like, right, it's time to actually get back into real life. Snow, snow, please go away. They told us it was finished. It was snowing again last night. So hopefully there's an end to it, because I think, you know, you have your fun, but it has to end somewhere.
Especially the damage it does to businesses, doesn't it? Never mind the budget and everything else. Though, at the moment, I think most rail services are operating, if not to schedule, very close to schedule. Bus, you have to check up with the various intercity bus routes, because there's huge disruption. Whatever but the snow, the black ice in the Rosemary is absolutely lethal, and you won't see it there until the car goes from under you.
No, yeah, well, I mean, as I say, I have been driving now, and touch wood and everything else. I've haven't had a skid, or I haven't had anything dangerous happen to me. But there's another aspect of this which I you know, the way we have this thing of oh, snow, everything grinds to a halt. Well, I was trying to get on the N52 last week, and a truck had stopped on a hill, and all the cars behind it just sat there, right? And there was a queue for about a mile behind me, and then eventually this man got so fed up, he got the cars around. They could go around. So a lot of these kind of seize-ups are people who lose the bottle, do you know what I mean? And if you drive carefully and with knowledge, it is possible, unless it's an absolute blizzard from hell.
I did actually block my road for an hour the other day, and I had people out of their cars beating at me. I had to get 4 builders to come and literally push the car off the side of the road. It was, I skidded, did like a 360 almost. It was terrifying. But like, again, all my neighbours came out, everybody got together, and you know, builders obviously helped, but it was pretty terrifying.
Terrifying enough without people beeping at you.
Parking is horrible. It's horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let us know what you think. 1530 99 99 33. Text us MD first, followed by your comments to 53131. After the break, a new code for people stuck in mortgage arrears. Stay with us. See you in 3. You can call us now, 1530 99 99 33. We'll do our best to air as many as possible. We'll go to the phones now.
This really isn't a bailout. We went to money lenders who are ripping us off for stuff that I didn't get, you didn't get, or anybody else. I didn't buy a new house. or spend money like mad. And all these other fellas have run off with their money to tax havens. That's all I have to say about the budget.
I just want to say I'm 83. I lived through the 1930s, 40s, 50s. They were extremely difficult, but we got through. And during that time, we were not non-entities on the world stage. We can do it again, and we will be stronger and wiser.
Just want to lift your hearts a little in these difficult times. My next door neighbour, a young American, he knows who he is, came in and cleaned all the snow from our front path and garden the other day, totally unasked, and I think it's wonderful, and we should really be helping each other like this. Thank you again.
Lots of texts on this. Mary McAvoy and Emily are inspiring and nice to listen to. Well done, girls. The panel in general is putting me in a more positive frame of mind. That's from Mairead and Offaly. So that's nice to hear. Our country, that is Ireland, it will come back as good as it was if we all started and to buy Irish again and buy Irish-made goods and get off our backsides. That's in from Daniel. Text for you, Fiona. I too grew up with nothing, but when you have nothing, you yearn for nothing. Today's 20-somethings never had a bad day, so this is their financial Armageddon. That's what you were talking about. We started off from a much more pampered, this higher to fall really this time around. Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, to a certain extent, I feel quite sorry for younger people for that reason. Obviously, my inner begrudger is also thinks it's kind of hilarious, but I mean that's
inner begrudger. What do you mean inner?